With most of the nation suffering through the worst drought in more than a half century in 2012, it was a tough year for many producers around the country. And while the outlook for 2013 is improving, the dry conditions are far from over. The Monitor's Damon Jones takes a look at that story.
It was literally standing room only for the crop outlook session during this year's AFBF annual meeting in Nashville, and for good reason, as severe drought conditions in 2012 have farmers concerned about the future. It's a major problem that's influenced each and every producer across the country.
It has impacted all four of the major crops. Cotton probably took it the worst in 12, or 11. As you look at 12, corn probably the worst there, soybeans probably number 2 there. So we look into 13, it looks like wheat right now under the gun as we're going forward here. So this is a drought that has impacted across the crop sector in multiple years.
And unfortunately, an end isn't likely to come anytime soon, as more than half the country is still under drought conditions heading into the new year. That, of course, begs the question, what can farmers do to minimize the damage?
We are finding profitable positions out there. They're not quite as profitable as we saw this year in 2012, but there's still profits to be had on the board. So taking advantage of those, locking in some price floors, utilizing crop insurance and government programs to help protect yourself against low revenue situations.
With a lack of rain, row crops such as corn and soybeans have seen a major drop in supply, which has resulted in record high commodity prices. However, that is likely to change this year as farmers will inevitably correct the market.
I would say, one of the things that U.S. producers are famous for is when we have high prices, we tend to ramp up production and drive them down eventually. And that's what's likely going to happen here. Arguably, we tried to do that in 12. When you plant 97 million acres of corn, the most land we've had in corn since 1937, that's an attempt by farmers to produce a heck of a lot of corn.
Another major factor on prices will be the export market, specifically America's #1 trade partner, China. As for what's in demand overseas, well, it's been sort of hit or miss for producers.
The export market is a mixed bag. Soybeans continues to remain strong. The corn export market has basically been cut in half due to the high prices. Cotton is down significantly because of storage being held in China. And then the wheat market right now is just kind of holding steady.
Of course, what most of the farmers were here for were the price projections for the upcoming year. And it's good news for consumers as the prices are projected to fall during 2013. However, it's not likely to happen overnight.
But we're probably talking about corn in the $4 to $5 range. We're probably talking about beans around $10 to $12. We're probably talking wheat settling in at around $7. Hopefully cotton will get up there back close to the 80s as we're looking there. But it's going to take probably at least a year for that to occur because markets are so tight right now.
How much change will all this new information cause for 2013? Apparently not too much, as you're still likely to see the same 2 crops dominating the landscape next year.
I think corn and soybeans will continue to gather the lion's share of acreage as we move forward. Wheat did gain some area in the winter wheat area here, but I think they're going to lose some through abandonment because of the lingering drought that bothered the germination there. Cotton lost about 2 million acres last year, will likely give up some additional land this year.
For the Georgia Farm Monitor, I'm Damon Jones.